the gods themselves in the first age, before the rule of the shadows of the gods, and before the rule of Pharaoh. It is written there are 6 duats down here. The Hall of Records is said to be in one of the duats, the history of the time before the history we have recorded. This was the time when the gods ruled beyond the horizon, before even the first age of Egypt. The old kingdom of the gods beyond the Great Sea.
Khufu wasn't interested in history or the gods, but the future. It is said there is also a hall that holds the Grail, which contains the gift of eternal life. Asim nodded.
That is so, my lord.
The tunnel ended at a stone wall. Asim used the medallion around his neck, placing it against a slight depression in the center of the stone. The outline of a door appeared, then the rock slid up. Asim stepped aside and motioned for the pharaoh to enter. Khufu stepped through into a small circular cavern, about 20 feet wide. In the very center was a tall, narrow red crystal, 3 feet high and 6 inches in diameter, the multifaceted surface glinting. Set in the top of the crystal was the handle of a sword. Khufu walked forward, drawn irresistibly toward the crystal. Asim was at his side now. An ornate sheath could be seen buried deep inside the crystal. The pharaoh had never seen such crystal or metal worked so finely.
It is called Excalibur, Asim said. Take hold of the sword, my pharaoh. Remove it from the crystal.
Khufu reached down and grabbed the handle of the sword. The sword, still covered by the sheath, slid smoothly out of the crystal.
Now free the blade, my lord.
Khufu began to draw back the blade. A shock coursed out of the handle through his hand and into his body as he pulled it out of the sheath. Khufu staggered back as a golden glow filled the entire chamber. Khufu blinked as the smoothly cut walls flickered and came to life. A flurry of images flashed across them so quickly he could barely note them. A massive golden palace that dwarfed the pyramid he had just built, set on a hill above a beautiful city of white stone surrounded by 7 moats of water. A wave-battered island with 3 volcanic mountains in each corner, sitting alone in an endless ocean. A rocky, uninhabited desert with mountains surrounding a dry lake bed. A desolate land swept by snow and ice. A strange land where the sand was red and a massive mountain dominated the horizon. And other images flashing by faster and faster so that he lost track. In some manner, he felt a connection to all those places. Suddenly the walls went black, before revealing a view of the surface above, but from a perspective he didn't recognize at first. He could see the Sphinx and the Nile beyond as if from a great height, and he then realized that in some manner the walls in this deep cavern were reflecting the view from the top of the Great Pyramid. He was surprised to see that the red capstone was now glowing as if lit from within. He started as a 7-foot-high red line appeared between him and the vision on the walls. The line wavered, then widened, until a figure appeared and began speaking.
"It was hoped the Great Pyramid would bring more of the gods,"
the figure finally said.
"That was the design. It has not worked that way. Instead, an enemy comes, from the sky above, the ancient enemy of the gods, the killer of all life, the enemy with the patience of a stone, infinite, an enemy like a gathering of locusts, a swarm. The capstone, the Master Guardian, will stop the ancient enemy. Excalibur controls the power to the Guardian. While the sword is inside the sheath, the Master Guardian cannot work. You have freed it, and thus the Master Guardian has power. The Master Guardian can now take action against the ancient enemy."
Khufu turned to the priest. "How will the Master Guardian do this? What ancient enemy?" Asim was looking up. He pointed at the display on the roof of the cavern that showed the sky above the pyramid.
That enemy, my lord.
Khufu looked up and blinked. There was a dark spot